know I made up a bunch of stuff. Here's the thing that, again, you gotta picture me as a retarded kid from a pretty dysfunctional family in the country, isolated, and oh my goodness, in bad shape, put it that way. What drew me to skating, it seemed like a genuine community of outsiders, of people who didn't belong elsewhere but found themselves a way to individuate themselves in a way that seemed to be a more real, raw expression where no one molded them, no one told them what the right swing was or what uniform to wear, and they weren't defined by metrics such as a stopwatch or a weight. And I loved that. Whatever it was, skateboarding allowed me to get out and feel like I had a sense of significance. And even when freestyle, as it evolved, it pretty quickly vert started to evolve too, from pools to actual half pipes. I remember it was the first time I saw Mark Lake do a rock and roll, you think, okay, that's the beginning of something. Being able, even where I am in skating now, I skate differently, and yet I'm accepted. Freestylers, look, they were moderately accepted, but not really, and somewhat respected, but certainly not part of skating. And what we think of is, and I know a lot of freestylers may be bummed, but that's what it was. That's what it was. And when I was accepted by these guys like Neil Blender and Tony and Billy Ruff and guys like that at the time, they were kidding. I can't believe, because they didn't care. They looked at what I was doing and it made me feel part of what they were doing. And the fact that I did it differently, I didn't do any of what, I didn't feel connected to freestyle. I don't know, I never had too many friends. Rocco, he really looked out, he was my friend. Yeah. But being connected and being part of that because I was different and did it my own way, that's what skateboarding was all about to me. And that's what skateboarding gave me, and that was my sense of fit. It only encouraged me to do more and became more of a family than I ever had, because they accepted me at face value for who I was, period. It comes up in interviews, hey, do you feel proud of what you did or all the stuff you made up? And to me, it's not so much proud, it's what I told you from the very beginning of when I see guys like that who are so different. Like, I don't know Andrew very well. I see him, shake his hand, but like his, or guys that you're totally different from, that you know you have, look, we didn't grow up in any different worlds. But when they're doing it the way they do, and one of the guys that I love his skating, I love Antoine's skating. And I look at a guy like that doing what I started doing in a way they do it, and that thing that I always loved and yearned for, that defines skating to me, is of people doing things their own way, yet sharing and building their own. I mean, it's the language of skateboarding. It's what we do that helps define them. We share that. Not only do we share it, we create it together. And that's a crazy feeling of connectedness, of belonging, and significance. And a restoration of whatever it is that was in my head that I struggled with, of I'm so disconnected from everything, I don't want to be. And suddenly I feel I'm part of something. Not only am I part of it, I help define it. And when they do it better than I could ever do it, it only makes me feel bigger and more part of something that I never had. And I'll never let go. It's huge. It's huge. Look, magazines in general, do you want to talk about TransWorld in particular? Because no single perspective generally has it all, right? Mm-hmm. None of them.
Yeah.
You're quite different from Thrasher, and there's Skateboarder, and there's all kinds, right? And the other sort of zines that come out. No single perspective has it all. And what it does is, the guys, again, I lock up, I don't know Andrew Meadows very well. I know Jamie pretty well, and a lot of the guys who skate very differently from a different place, but I actually know them pretty well. You're just personalities, you connect different ways. But what the magazine does is it brings not only what they do, but who they are. And in a way, TransWorld, its place in doing just that, from a perspective that's, I don't know, it's hard to say, oh, which magazine's better. It's not that. It's just to say that TransWorld has always done that in a way that felt mostly the way how I would see it through my own eyes. There is no laughing.